When Ziva had invited Zoey on a picnic with friends the night before, Zoey had originally declined. Zoey had no desire to go, but after over an hour of Ziva's pestering, not to mention a huge guilt trip of how Zoey never spent any time with her little sister, Zoey had finally relented. Now, as Zoey put her car in park in front of the forest service station, she was deeply regretting her decision to attend. But even more than that, Zoey deeply regretted not asking Ziva which friends would be attending this picnic when she saw Sofia and Blaine standing outside the building chatting. Sofia turned and hissed at her sister. "What are Sofia and Blaine doing here, Ziva?" When Blaine saw Ziva getting out of the car, he was understandably surprised. But when a reluctant Zoey got out of the car after her, Blaine was momentarily speechless. It was obvious that Blaine wasn't happy that Zoey and Ziva were there. Finally, after half an hour, everything was ready, including the grill. All that they needed now was the firewood. "I'll go gather some firewood," Blaine offered. Sofia rushed to catch up with him. "Blaine, I'll go with you." Ziva was unhappy. Watching them leave, Zoey didn't say anything, but just went back to quietly adding meat and vegetable to the barbecue skewers. While Ziva complained back at their picnic site, Sofia seemed to be in an especially good mood as she walked with Blaine. She happily chatted alongside him as Blaine collected firewood. Blaine looked around. "All of this wood is too wet to burn. Why don't we go look over there?" He frowned as he spoke, sweat beading on his forehead. "Blaine, are you all right?" Sofia looked at him worriedly. "I'm fine." Blaine shook his head. "I suddenly feel a little hot." He took off his windbreaker, leaving behind only a thin white t-shirt that showed traces of sweat. "You should leave on your jacket. You don't want to catch a cold," Sofia reminded him. "It's fine, let's go." Blaine walked with Sofia deeper into the woods. He walked in front while Sofia followed behind. However, they had only taken a few steps when they suddenly felt the ground underneath them give way. Sofia screamed in shock as the two of them fell into a deep hole without any warning. Sofia was so scared that she began to cry. She threw herself headfirst into Blaine's warm embrace. "Blaine, I'm afraid. What is this? What did we fall into?" "Don't be scared. This is just a normal hunting trap," Blaine said calmly, then looked around and confirmed. "There should be people coming to save us soon." Blaine ignored her and went to the side of the hole to check for exits. There was no longer any doubt in Blaine's mind. He was a doctor, after all. All of his symptoms pointed to only one logical explanation. He'd been drugged. Someone on this picnic had spiked Blaine's drink. Blaine looked up. The depth of the trap was about 3 meters, and the edges were smooth. It would be impossible to climb up the sides by hand. They'd have to call for help. Blaine felt his pockets, but realized he didn't have his phone. Back at the picnic site, Zoey and Ziva began to worry. Sofia and Blaine had left a long time ago to gather firewood, but still hadn't returned. "Give them a call," Zoey suggested. Ziva took out her cell phone and dialed Sofia's number, but her phone was turned off. In the next moment, they heard a phone ring. Looking down, Ziva saw Blaine's phone on the table by the grill. Zoey frowned. He didn't take his phone with him. It had been over an hour, so she hoped that nothing had happened to him. "Ziva, wait for me here. I'll go look for them." Inside the trap, Blaine was becoming increasingly uncomfortable. Whatever had been slipped into his drink must have been aphrodisiac. Who would do such a thing? It had to have been someone on the picnic. Above the trap, Sofia's excited cry was what had drawn Zoey's attention to the large hole in the ground. "Zoey!" Suddenly a deep voice called out to her. "Are you going to just sit there all day, or are you going to help us?" He shouted. "Hurry up and get someone to pull us up." Zoey said innocently, "Don't worry, I'll call the police right away. But Sofia, why did you turn off your phone?" "I called for a long time but couldn't get through. Ziva said that your phone still had a full charge when she saw it this morning. I guess you two just wanted to be alone for a while before you called us. Sorry I interrupted." Seeing the increasingly pale face of Sofia, the smile on Zoey's face grew even wider as she spoke. Blaine looked up at the smirk on Zoey's face. He realized that now that Zoey was here, his head was clear and he felt much calmer. The antidote to cure the false effects of an aphrodisiac was the power of true love. The police arrived quickly to rescue Blaine and Sofia from the deep hunter's trap. Blaine helped Sofia tie the rope around her waist, and then the rescuers began to pull her up. Zoey didn't hesitate. She stretched out her hand in an attempt to reach Sofia and pull her over the edge to safety. As Zoey was shouting at her, Sofia reached up and grasped Zoey's outstretched hand. Suddenly, Zoey felt a sharp pain in her palm. It hurt so much that Zoey didn't even have time to think before she reflexively opened her hand. It wasn't until half a second after Zoey retracted her hand that she realized what had happened. "Sofia, no!" Zoey screamed in fright.
Hi, Zoey here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Rekindled Heartache now.